All right, what is up, academic astronomy? Mr. Krug coming back at you late night here. Oh man, my house is dirty. I shouldn't have panned up. All right, just to show you the South Circumpolar Sky and how this should look. So we're going to start off with the easier of the two charts, the SC003. 3, right there. So this is the full chart, and you're just tracing the constellations. It is challenging because even though this sky is absolutely overflowing with bright stars, we also have some rather dim ones, especially as you run your way through Aradnus the river. Down here we have the 3 constellations that make up our sailing ship. Notice that since stick figures aren't official, Puppis the poop deck looks different than it does on the planetarium dome, as does Vela the sail. Carina the keel is about the same, but it's got this extra little curly Q on it right there. Almost reminds me of like runners on an old school snow sled. Then over here, we've got the most famous constellation in the southern hemisphere. We got Crux, the Southern Cross. We've got the curved version right above it, Musca the fly. And then the one constellation down here that really does look like its namesake, we've got Centaurus the centaur. And you can just barely see right there the bottom edge of the other centaur in the sky, Sagittarius the archer. Then we hit all our flying bird constellations. I mentioned Musca. And then notice our south circumpolar point overhead has no star. If we run about 3 cross lengths like we do on the planetarium dome, we can use Crux, Gay Crux through A Crux to at least point us in the general direction. So beyond Achernar, we've got Phoenix. Notice the stick figure on our charts looks different than the home plate shape on our planetarium dome. There we've got Grus the crane, minus the 1 star in this area that makes it look more like Cygnus the swan. And then we've got Pavo the peacock with the peacock star. So get one last look. Here's how step number 1 should look of the SC003. Then, ta-da, let's take a look at steps 2, 3, and 4. This is going to be on our final T chart of the year. So step 2, you're going to connect those same dots, and it is pretty darn challenging because some of the stars are pretty dim. It's also challenging in the area where some of the stars are really bright. You got to make sure you actually connect it to the right ones. A challenge I found while doing it, for Puppis the poop deck, this line actually runs off the page, so you just kind of have to look at what right ascension mark it runs through to make it run to the same place. I've never had that one happen before. So we connect all of those same ones. Then step number 3, you're going to write the names in the same color in all capital letters, just like they're in capital letters on this chart right here. So I've chosen dark green this time, so I've made the names in all capital letters. Do notice, everybody, that down here in the southern hemisphere, there's no really distinctive asterisms, so we don't need to worry about making dotted lines for anything like we've done on every other season. Finally, everybody, step 4, you're going to write the star and object names in. And this time, y'all got to pay real good attention because a lot of the names, like Avior, like Gay Crux, are not actually given by name on this chart here. So you got to look for the Bayer symbols, and my chart should be a real nice guide for you. So let's start off with the second brightest star in the sky, Canopus. Then here's our zigzag. This one, 2 stars down, is named Avior. Make sure you don't name that one, which is a little brighter than Avior. So we got Canopus and Avior in Carina the keel. Then over here in Crux, the Southern Cross, A Crux, Gay Crux, and then Mimosa. So you might remember blue-white star, O-class star, blue star, B-class star, then much cooler, a reddish M star right there. So those are those 3. Here in Centaurus the centaur, we've got 3 of them. Notice on this chart, they just show us the alpha symbol, Alpha Centauri, Bayer name, but we know that one just as Alpha Centauri. That's our triple star system, 3rd brightest star in the sky, only 4.4 light years away or so. Then Beta Centauri, about 560 light years away, is Hadar. Just remember, Hadar is going to hate. And then we've got this beautiful naked eye globular cluster, Omega Centauri. I would love to see that one someday. Supposedly almost as big as the full moon. So journeying up here to Eridanus the river, remember we learned this end before, which starts right below Orion's feet in the winter sky. Now we get to see the headwaters. Here we have Achernar. Then around the first oxbow bend, we've got Acamar. Achernar, Acamar. Over here in Pavo the Peacock, we've got the blue B-class Peacock star, also not shown by name, but it's that one right there. That's the head of the peacock. There's the train, the feathers, the tail of the peacock. And then finally, everybody, we've got the SMC, Small Magellanic Cloud, and the LMC, Large Magellanic Cloud, our closest two neighboring galaxies to our own Milky Way. The one object we learned on the dome that y'all don't see on here is the Coalsack Dark Nebula, which would be somewhere right in here, but you don't have to include it on this chart. So get one more look, everybody. This is now the 3T. This is going to go with steps 2, 3, and 4. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Peace.